So I get this question asked all the time. Athieno, I'm losing motivation for Siege. What do I do? And I'll tell you what to do right now. Move on. If you're not motivated to play something, then why force yourself to play it? If you're not motivated to go to the gym, if you're not motivated to go to work, you know, why force yourself if it's not natural? I know it's just a video game, but it's the same thing. You know, if you want to play a different game, go ahead, play a different game. If you're asking the right question, when you say I'm losing motivation for Siege, are you saying that you don't enjoy the game anymore, but you still want to play it? Or are you having a rough time and you still want to play it? Now, a lot of you guys are actually having a rough time playing because you're doing the wrong things and obviously resulting in a miserable experience. Trust me, bro, if I was losing every game and doing all this other stuff, then I would be bored of the game too. I would probably be bored of losing all the time. So I'm going to give you guys a ton of things that you guys can work on if you feel like you're losing motivation for Siege. So I'll be honest, I rarely lose motivation for Siege. I've always just been working towards something, whether that's trying to make a name for myself, trying to hit a certain rank, trying to make it in the streaming scene, even making the pro scene. I competed in CL, made a lot of new friends in that way, but I've always had an intent. And I think a lot of you guys have that intent too. It doesn't have to be streaming, content creation, pro competitive play, but you just want to get better. Just self-improvement on the game, correct? So what you have to find out is, what is your intent of the game? Do you play the game like you're playing it after school? You're just playing it for fun? Or maybe you are still kind of playing it after, you have your free time, but you want to get better, right? It's like in the gym. You don't want to become, the next Chris Bumstead or a bodybuilder, but you just want to look your best. And in Siege, you just want to play your best. So having an intention is super, super key, because this way you don't kind of compare yourself and you don't think around too much of, this player has better aim than me, but he's a lower rank. Don't compare ranks and that kind of stuff, because rank 2.0 kind of messes everything up. So that's where it kind of comes to your approach of the game. So after your intention is your approach of the game. So are you caring too much about this game? Are you putting ranked on a pedestal? Like, a lot of you guys take ranked way more serious than most of the even players who play this game for a living. The people who play this game for a living understand, yeah, they do have to play a little bit serious, but they still have fun learning because they understand they have to fail and they have to learn in order. That's why they scrim. That's why they do all this kind of stuff. But your approach to the game is very, very important, because if you care about something too much, let's say it's ranked, right? If you care way too much about ranked, you're going to burn yourself out very quickly. You're going to put a ton of hours in, but get nothing out because you're just stressed and you're mad all the time. That's when if you're going to lose motivation to play after that one, you just need to take a break, my man. That break can be a lot of things. That break can be getting a hobby outside of Siege. I'm telling you right now, the biggest tip I can give for you guys is to get a life outside of Siege. Get a life outside of Siege, guys. I know it sounds really blunt and a little cliche, but I'm being serious. Like, when things in your life are happening and you're busy and you're kind of taking your mind off of Siege, when you come back to Siege, you'll realize that Siege is really just a video game. There's no reason to be putting intense emotions into a game when all it really does is just gonna mess up your mood for the night. So a lot of you guys, if you have school or work, you come home and Siege is just kind of like that. I get to just unplug for a little bit and just enjoy the game. So instead, a lot of people will be like, oh my god, I cannot lose this game, I cannot derank. But the issue with that is that you care too much about the game. That leads to you playing a lot less natural and you start overthinking a lot of things. So if you want to build quote-unquote motivation for Siege, you have to make your approach correct, and that can be different for everybody else. Another thing I would say about Siege is that Siege is the best FPS in my opinion, and it's even better if you're playing with a friend. When you're playing with a friend, even friends in a 5-stack, Siege 5-stack, bro, I could play hours on end, man. I remember when I was doing a 24-hour stream, it felt like a 8-hour stream because I was 5-stacked the entire time, and it was super fun. And if I was solo queue, dude, I can barely go solo queue nowadays for like 3 hours without losing my mind. But when you have friends, it takes like the pressure off you a little bit because you're laughing, you're having fun, or maybe even you're playing the game a lot more fluently because you have other people to calm to. You're talking more. So playing the game definitely would boost my motivation to play the game, because I remember all the fun times I've had with playing Siege with my friends, and I think I've made the best memories in Siege with friends I've met through competitive, ranked. I've met people who, it doesn't matter how many followers they have, man. If they're good at the game and we vibe well, bro, I'll invite you to the stack, man. It doesn't matter. So, but like I said, you cannot be looking for motivation to play Siege. It's the same thing for anything else. If you have to look for motivation, you're probably in the wrong spot anyways. But like I said, move on from Siege. Go play a different game for a little bit. You don't have to force yourself to play. But like I said, it might just be that you're having a rough time, and you might be having a rough time because you're probably solo queuing. A lot of you guys are solo queuing, and you're just putting yourself in miserable situations. I would be miserable too. Solo queue is supposed to be miserable, guys. You guys do not understand. Solo queue is supposed to be miserable because it is a team-based game that you are missing a ton of coordination from, and it's going to make everything a lot more stressful. And obviously, you're not going to want to play as much, and you're wondering why you're plateauing so much. So I think that you should play Siege when it's natural to you. One thing that does help me a little bit is watching other players enjoy Siege. I know it sounds a little bit unnatural, but if you were to watch a Bolo video or Spoit video, my video, Pox video, then you might be like, wow, that moment looks super fun. Or maybe you watch Pro League. You watch the game being played in a correct fashion, a winning fashion, and you're like, wow, you know what? I really want to try that. I should try that now. And then the next rank game you load into, you try out that strat, and it works, and it pays off because you had that intent to get on the game and repeat a winning strategy. You see what I mean? A lot of you guys, bro, you are tilted after the second game, and then you play 4 more games after. How do you think those games are going to go, bro? You're just wasting your time. No wonder you don't have a motivation for this game. Having friends, like, I can just tell you guys, like, it just makes the game so much easier than it needs to be because you don't have to babysit your teammates in solo queue. Trust me, guys, when you guys watch me on stream, bro, you guys didn't see me like I'm just like, every time I die, it's just kind of like I just brush it off. So the last part I want to mention is, let's get this out of the way, that you will gain motivation in the process of playing Siege, or maybe even activity you're trying to improve at, right? I would lose motivation. Let's say if I wanted to join the NBA, bro, and I was just getting smoked every scrim, I wasn't able to shoot a 3-pointer, I would probably lose motivation pretty quickly if I couldn't catch up with the rest of the herd. I'd be like, am I in the right space? Or maybe am I trading wrong? So I want to tell you guys a few things that kind of help me when I feel like I never actually lost motivation for Siege, because like I said, I've always had an intent. But one thing that you can try is, I want you to go into the game, and it's almost like a slump a little bit. Whatever you're doing right now is clearly not working. So what you should do, in my opinion, especially in this TDM meta that we're in, one thing that helps me, and I think it might help you guys a little bit too, is go across a random part of the building. I want you to just forget about, playing smart for a little bit, and just go 50% try, 50% it is what it is, and you just kind of go with the flow regardless of the result. Go wherever the bomb site is, right? I want you to enter the opposite side of the map and enter on the opposite floor. What you're going to do is you're going to leave a pre-placed cam on attack. You're going to leave a pre-placed cam, or maybe if you're on defense, then you would just do the exact same thing inside the building. And wherever it is, if you hear nothing, you just go in. You don't drone for the rest of the round. The reason why I say I don't want you to drone is because I want you to rely mostly on your face checking. Obviously, if you get pretty deep in, then you can drone. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, you need to stop overthinking everything. You need to stop thinking, oh, is there a guy in this corner? I might die to this, I might die. Like, you're making all these scenarios in your head, and it's clouding your judgment, and then you're gonna die, and you become frustrated, and you lose motivation for the game. I'll say it one more time, guys. Like, if you don't have motivation for something, you shouldn't force it. I can't tell you that enough. I told so many people that it's just gonna come naturally. If you really want to get good at Siege, you're gonna find a way. And that comes with either watching good players, switching up your play style. You need to stop overthinking everything, and you just need to do it, guys. Just need to go in the game, and play like it's T-Hunt. Imagine if you were to go into T-Hunt or a quick match, you would realize that the game is, you don't overthink anything and you play a lot more fluid. In fact, you probably get more kills. Obviously, because, you know, solo queue is pretty, or a quick match is pretty, you know, it's all over the place. But I hope this video did help you a little bit on finding your motivation back for Siege. So I'll review it one more time for you guys. You need to have a mindset shift. You know, how do you approach the game? Don't care too much about it. Do not go in and expecting, you know, everything to go well, because you have to lose a little bit in order to start winning more. You can't just win. You know, embrace the process, guys. Embrace the process of Siege, getting wall banged here and there, because sometimes you're on the other end and he's on the other end. That sounds really messed up, but what I'm trying to say is that, you know, you just have to embrace the process of the game and don't look at a loss as a loss. Look at it as a lesson in order for you to learn how to win. So hopefully you gain motivation from this video, but, you know, it doesn't just wear off. But you need to make sure that it is your mindset that gets you through the game and not just some feeling, you know. But thank you guys for watching. Be sure to watch me live on Twitch. I stream every single day, and if you have any questions like this, go ahead and ask me. People ask me all the time how to get motivation for Siege. Well, I finally made a video about it. So hopefully this did help you guys. Follow me on Instagram and my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.